Welcome to Positive Energy with Crystals. My name is Hillary, and this is the next in the series about learning crystal grids. So this one we're going to talk about grid patterns. These aren't the only layouts you can use. You can use so many different ones. These are just some. If you're wanting to use a dedicated, kind of already established, other people are using kind of layout. Now, like I was saying, you don't have to use just these. You can use just an abstract, whatever you feel like using. So these are on wood. But like I said in the very first video of this series, you can use cloth, paper, check out Pinterest for lots of printables and PDFs. They have tons. Wood, tile, you can draw it yourself. You can have it not drawn out at all. You don't have to use these either. You can just lay your crystals out in just however you feel. You can setting crystals in four corners of a room or your house, apartment, your property, that's considered a crystal grid. So it's a layout pattern. So they can be super simple or intricate. But there are tons more than what I'm showing here. These are just the most popular. I feel that they're the most popular. Just because they're in this video doesn't mean these are the only patterns to use. Whatever you're drawn to use it. Also, just because I say like certain patterns are used for certain things doesn't mean you have to use, like if you're doing a money one and I say one of these is good for money, but you're drawn to use a different one, use the other one. You don't have to use these for specific workings. All right. So using a pattern, why would you use a pattern? The power of sacred geometry, which is what these are considered, they add to the energy of your crystals. I'm not going to get into how and why sacred geometry, how that all works in this video. That's a lot more detail. And I'm not sure that you'd be really interested in that. If you are, let me know and we can go deeper in there. But it's a lot of information. Also, I'm giving very, very, very basic information about these. I could do an entire video on each of these layouts. So the information I'm giving in this video is very, very basic, not much. There's tons more. If there's a specific one that you would like more information on, put that in the comments and we can go into deeper on one or a few of them. But there's so much information on each one that I'm having to just give you very, very basic, or this video would be forever. Okay, let's get organized here. We'll start with the one that I think is the most popular. This one is called the Seed of Life. It's found in most modern religions in some way. It's supposed to represent the 7 days of creation. You can see 7 circles that overlap. 6 are on the outside, and then there's this one in the middle. They're all the 7 circles are the same size. They overlap. They make it look like a perfectly proportioned flower. So it's used for working with nature, protection, blessings, finding balance in your life, finding your place in the world, and figuring out your life in general. Inspiration, creativity, and miracles. I really like this one, and I think when we start laying out crystal grids, I think this is the one I'm going to use. When I was doing the research too, I also found out it's a very, very popular tattoo design. This one is called the Flower of Life. So this one is up to 19 circles, but some of the outside circles are hidden. Like you can see here, maybe let's do over here. So here's the top of the circle, but then it doesn't complete around the outside. It's so, like I said, it's up to 19 circles. It's supposed to represent the cycle of creation, how everything starts from a single source and then builds out. That's like the short, very abbreviated version of that. It's used for adding connections to your life, raise and protect your energy, meditation, and it's become very popular in the New Age movement. The Seed of Life is part of the Flower of Life design, so you can kind of see, the shapes. I don't know if I can get them. I can't get them both in the camera, but there you can kind of see. So you can see when you start looking at the center, it's similar. And there's more to that explanation too, but like I said, we're just doing short descriptions. All right, Metatron's cube. This is probably the first design everyone thinks of when you mention sacred geometry. Metatron was actually an archangel, but the design didn't come around until medieval times when Italian mathematician Leonardo Pisano, I got it right, did his research and did his thing. And remember, basic information. We're not going to get into the whole thing. There's really a long explanation of the pattern, and we just don't have time for that in this video. But it's also kind of one of the most recognizable patterns. I remember when I was taking art classes in college, we went over all of it, and science classes, and it's well known. So you use this to help replace negative thoughts with positive. Reminds us the universe wants us to discover your personal power and to use it for good. It represents balance, harmony, and peace. It's popular for meditation and protection from negative energy. Helps you on your spiritual journey. It's supposed to amplify crystal energy and cleanse crystals. Send healing, love, and energy to others. And if you work with Archangel Metatron, it's great for rituals, offerings, altar decor, etc. There's so much more to all these designs that when I finish just explaining it, it feels like I'm leaving off important information, but we just don't have time for all of it. Okay, Celtic Knot is also another popular one. It's an intertwined knot with no beginnings and no ends, and it symbolizes eternity and interconnectedness. There are lots of different knot designs and patterns, and once again, since we're doing a short description, being very general in the description it means, and just kind of grouping all the Celtic Knot type ones into one. Most of the designs or layouts I use and that I have on my Etsy page are the triquetra type of design. Most of them. The triquetra is used to represent the triple moon goddess, Mother Maiden Crone, 3 life cycles of a woman. Also to represent the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, birth, life, death, 3 trimesters of pregnancy, because you've got the 3 shapes. So general use of the Celtic Knot is used for love, friendship, and spiritual connections. Next, Tree of Life. Now, there's actually a line design Tree of Life, but I don't like that one. I like using the actual tree symbol, and it's more popular, it's more recognizable, and I don't know, I'm not drawn to use the, like these, it's got a pattern, lines like this, but for the Tree of Life. But I like using the actual tree. The Tree of Life connects heaven, earth, and the underworld. It represents balance and harmony, can be used for ancestral work, grounding, balance, and harmony workings. I use a Tree of Life a lot, just the image mostly, for grounding. So I'm excited about using it, the crystal grid, for grounding work. Let's see. The branches reach out, representing reach for knowledge and learning something new. So it can be used for education, learning for a new job. You can use it when working with the 10 Sephiroths, which is way too much information to include in this video. It's really good, I think, for ancestral and grounding work. That's probably what I'm going to use it mostly for. It's kind of what I use the symbol for anyway. It's a Labrynth. Now this one's not as popular as the others, but let's see, I didn't store it flat, so it's a little wobbly. So it's still used, it's just not as popular as the other ones. So it has a single path from the outside to the inside, and you can trust that you won't get lost like you might in a corn maze, because there's only one path. It's twisty and curvy and goes all over the place. But, once you get here to the center, but there's one path in, and that's it. And then it follows it right back out. So this is used mostly for meditation and also quieting your mind and balance anxiety. Sorry. There are a lot of medieval churches that have one on the floors of the church, which are kind of cool. And the last one that we're going to do today is the pentacle. I have it in this triple moon design because I like the triple moon. It's a very strong protection symbol, and it's been used as a crystal grid for a long time, and it's a good one. So like I said, there are so many more designs, and there aren't any rules on which one you're supposed to use for specific things. The information I gave is just kind of a general, if you're thinking about it, that gives you a starting point. The sacred geometry of a design is what is helping the crystals send out their energy and amplify their energy. If you just want crystals laid out in a crystal grid, you don't have to have it in a specific pattern. You can use your own pattern, a basic pattern, or if you want to go super detailed, you can do that too. You can have on a piece of flatwood that you're drawn to use. You can use the dirt, whatever you want. If you're interested in any of these, I'll put my link in the description. Let me know in the comments too if you have any questions about grid patterns. This is kind of the confusing part, I think, of crystal grids, is the patterns. And I think when I tried doing them before, I made it too complicated. And really, it doesn't matter. It's not as big a deal as I thought it used to be. You can lay it out however you want. But if you want me to go into more detail on one or some more of these, let me know in the comments and I can do videos on those. There's also more that I didn't even list in this video that they're sort of popular, but they're not as popular as these. Like the Egg of Life, the Tetrahedron, Germ of Life. So there's more we could talk about, but I didn't want to overwhelm in this video. I wanted to keep it simple. So in the next video about crystal grids in this series, we'll start talking about working on the layout. And like I said, I think I'm going to use this Seed of Life. It's a nice, simple grid pattern, and I really like it. But I think it'll be a good one to use for this. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If there's something you want me to go into more detail about, put those in the comments, and I will see you next time.